The Sharp Tank. No jumper. Sharpest, coolest podcast in the world. And today, I wanted to do something different. I did. I really wanted to do something different because, like I said, we always get, the girls that are, a lot smaller, with the BBLs and everything done, but we ain't never got the BBWs of the content industry.
Yeah.
In the building. I have Badkittyyy and Stella Daniels in the building today, ladies and gentlemen.
What's good?
Hello.
What's good?
Last time I checked, man, big girls give good loving too.
Oh, yes. Probably the best and softest.
Okay. I was like, double it and give it to you.
See, y'all already starting and getting it going. So, a little bit about yourself. Kitty, where you from? Where'd you grow up?
I'm from Sacramento.
Okay.
That's
Shout out
that's
Sacktown.
where I grew. What up?
Sacktown.
What's up, Sacktown?
Yeah.
Number 6. Hey, what's good? What's good?
Okay. Grew up from Sacktown. How was it
Yeah.
for you growing up?
I was great. It's chill. I mean, I was like a badass little kid, but like a good one, like a good bad kid. But then I don't know. I just was like, I'm gonna do porn, so I did, and here we are.
When did you start?
2017.
2017.
Yeah, so it's been a minute. This year will be 7 years.
Yeah. What were
Yeah.
some of your first experiences with that?
Oh, well, I started camming like in my bedroom, like secretly. And then a couple like Mind Geek companies reached out to me, like Reality Kings and Brazzers, and been shooting and just making my own shit and just killing it.
You've always been a bigger girl doing this.
Yeah, I mean, when I first came into the industry, I weighed a little bit less, but then I don't know, I just got thick on them, and I got thick on them real quick, and yeah, and then I guess it helped because I won the 2022 Avian for favorite BBW. So
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
I like that, for real. How about you? Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Dallas, Texas.
Oh, yeah,
Still
Dallas.
Dallas.
Good old Dallas.
Good old Dallas. I still live there. Same thing. I grew up in my family was, very open. So I kind of grew up in the game. I didn't start out originally in porn. I started out in the game first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Got
So
my attention.
You're saying,
You got my attention. You got my attention. Yeah, go ahead.
well, I was what they call a square for a really long time. I've always been a square actually, but
Really?
yes, still am very much so.
I mean, maybe you. This is
maybe
why
a triangle.
I hate
I'm a triangle.
rhombus.
but I hate interrupting the conversation because I felt like it was gonna get so good, and then you kind of like backtracked on me. You was like, "Yeah, well, I was in the game. I didn't always start out in porn. I was in the game. But I was a square. I'm still much a square today. So that's where it kind of lost me. I'm like,
Okay, so let me back up a little bit.
Yeah,
okay,
please.
so
Thank you.
grew up in Dallas. I was had regular jobs most of my life. I do have 3 kids. My oldest kid will be 11 this year.
Okay.
And when I had her, she was just really sick a lot. Like we were in and out of the hospital a lot.
Damn.
So holding the regular 9 to 5 was really, really hard, especially being a single mom.
Understandable.
So I had lost my job because she was in the hospital. My job was like, we need you here. And I'm like, well, I can't be there. I have to be here. So, but I still had bills. Bills were still coming regardless. So one of my girlfriends had turned me on to the strip club.
Yeah.
So I started there. It was okay, but it's not like what these girls make it out to be, because back then I was a lot smaller than what I am now.
Yeah.
So even then, it's like these girls make it out to be like they make all this money, and some of them might, like I'm not knocking anybody, but
there's some that know they roll.
Yeah.
They know their game.
yeah,
That's real.
but then it's like the club I worked at, I'm not gonna lie, it was a really nice club, but there were some nice girls in there, but them girls weren't making money like that, and the money just wasn't enough, and so I got into, and I did that for years. I've been doing that since I was 21, and I'll be 30 this year.
Yeah. 9 years of your life.
And so did that, and then someone, Plumper Pass had reached out to me, and they were like, "Hey, like we really want to shoot you."
What was that about? I'm sorry, it was a nice intervene. It was like like she heard that name and it just kind of resonated something, you
I
know?
wasn't like interrupt. I was just keeping my little piece, but I had feelings about it. Clearly, it's
Okay, well, we'll get to those.
Yeah, that's why I
real
was.
quick,
That's
and
why.
we'll get to those. But that was interesting to point out real quick because I was like, you must have something on your mind about him. But continue. We'll get to
So Plumber Pass, and then I shot for Score, XL Girls. I've shot for Jeff's Models now. I was nominated as one of the best new BBW Starlets of the Year when I was less than a year in porn. So that was kind of cool. And then I didn't win, but I was just recently nominated for an AVN for BBW of 2023.
Did you go?
I did go. It was so fun. I saw Kalani. She did her thing. Abella Danger, she was up there.
That was that all-white party, right?
Yeah, I did go to the all-white party.
The all-white party?
Yeah,
No, I'm saying, was that the one Kaylani was performing at?
The one I went to, she wasn't there performing.
No, because I was curious because I heard there was a white party or something.
I think it might have been at a club.
Yeah, but I know.
Like an exclusive.
Yeah,
like
I was out that
week.
week. That week was crazy, you know, because I feel like it just brought everybody out.
There was
just
so
from content,
many like things going on.
From
Party
content,
here, party here.
it was. I think it brought out everything from just people that make content. Period. Because I was running into everybody, being out. Yeah, it was definitely a dope experience. They did it at the Resort World. I believe it was.
Yeah, it was. That
shit was dope. They turned to red for the night and shit for that whole week. It was.
Yeah.
It was definitely
cool.
dope.
It was cool. Yeah, it was.
Why'd you shake your head earlier?
About what?
About what she had said. She had said a name and you was like,
Oh, I just don't take kindly when people want me to like lower my rate, like because that company had reached out to me and they wanted me to shoot, and so I said yeah, and I said here's my rate.
Yeah,
and he's like, the owner's like, can you lower your rate? And I was like, have a good day.
Yeah. So you felt like you tried to treat you like you just coming in hungry on it.
Yeah, because I'm like, I didn't want to like be that guy, like eat my own ass about it, but I was like, I'm like, don't like try to play me like I haven't, done some. Yeah, like I've been around, like I've done some things, like I know my worth, and it just was.
And in this industry, when you have a price, no matter what it is, and you set it, you hold to it, because the second that you decide that you're gonna step down for one person, now everybody thinks you're gonna do that for them, or they're gonna continue to try to, utilize that to their advantage.
So you saying like you don't really let the big girl complex affect what you're going to charge them no matter what if they hit you. You know what I'm saying? Because maybe that's what the case is. They feel like, oh, well, she probably ain't getting nothing right now, because I don't know. But I don't want to say it's a small, but I would think it's a small market, right? Like for some of the chicks that...
I will tell you right now, the BBW market is huge.
It's grown. It has. You know what I'm saying?
Over the last couple years.
Over the last couple years. But at one point, it was like a kind of a small industry. It was a niche. You know what I'm saying? And it blew up.
For sure.
So I just want to know some of the ins and outs, like some of the things that y'all may experience in this, goods and bads, and hopefully that can open up the conversation, because I'm curious. I'm sure some of the viewers are curious, because like I said, we get the chicks in here that, okay, we already know she's got her body done, she's got this, she's got this nastiness, but I want to know about the bigger girls. Like there's a place, there's something going on.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and just to give y'all some shine for fucking once.
Well, thanks. Appreciate that.
Great time.
Appreciate that.
Big girls need love too.
Big girls need love
Big girls,
too.
and like I said, y'all give love, and obviously good love, because a lot of people watch your guys' content.
Correct. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, is they try to act like it's like a market that doesn't sell, but
it sells.
It absolutely
just as good, if not better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and then especially like, and there is a difference when it comes to like black BBWs to white BBWs, and like the way that things are marketed and all of that. So I know my experience might be a little bit different than your experience, or, other people's experience, but sometimes it's like it's like almost like a treat. It's like, oh, okay, here's like, we're going to do one like BBW shoot this month, or but I feel like there are companies that have gotten more in tune with realizing like it's a market that sells and people want to see it and it's high rated, and
I mean, if you
we've
look
got
on,
the
I was gonna
fans.
say, if you look on, Pornhub, X videos, all this stuff, and you go to the BBW site, I mean, their numbers are doing numbers.
No, and they are. But I'm curious, and I'm just curious here,
Yeah.
and maybe you guys can answer this question for me. I'm curious to know, like, does that over there, like on those sites, because these are free sites, like these are sites you can pull up that the world can go and pull up and they can watch vast majorities of different types of porn.
Correct.
Does that stuff still like generate the good, like the revenue for the person that's actually putting it out on there? Or does like these places like X videos or Pornhub, like, do they cut the checks to you?
They'll cut the check to you if you, have your website, if you have all your ducks in a row, you will get paid for your views.
Yeah.
Now,
'Cause it's like a sex YouTube, right?
correct,
It's kind of
correct,
like
yeah.
the same thing. You
Yeah.
can search for anything
Anything
that's
and everything you
sexual.
want. So I mean,
Right,
you
right,
you
right.
can search for, BBWs, cream pies. I don't know if I'm allowed to say all this stuff, but
You're
okay.
fine,
You're
you're fine.
allowed to search
You never
for
said it in a negative
Okay.
content. You're trying to be nasty. You're just
right.
trying to
I'm
explain
trying to explain it.
something.
Yeah. So it's like, you
Give
can
an
search
example.
for, spinners or smaller girls, whatever,
Yeah.
it's called. I mean, so you can search for anything. So whenever you go and you can search and you're able to search anything and you see the BBW numbers are doing that, that's what they're doing. At the end of the day, people try to downplay BBWs, but secretly, we're all they want. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can say what they want all day, but let me tell you right now, baby, I've had
speak
many
for themselves.
right. Like the numbers speak for them. It's not even the numbers;
Okay.
it's the men speak. The men speak it too.
Yeah.
Like they'll say things like, yeah, my girlfriend is real skinny, but I got a fetish for big girls.
I was
Like,
gonna say that. Like, is it more of a fetish?
They
like
say it's a fetish, but baby, just go
I
ahead
think
and
they
just
just
say,
say they
I
like
like
it.
big girls.
You like
That's
big
all you have
girls.
to
There's
say.
nothing wrong with
I
it.
like a real curvy woman.
Right,
You know,
right.
like there's nothing wrong with that.
And in my experience, it's always like the most ripped dudes, like that. Like for me, like the ones that like me, it's
I was
always
curious
like the
what
most.
type of dudes attract
Yeah.
y'all the most.
In mine,
It's always ripped, muscle men, like lifter, like so athletes, all of that. Like,
Yeah.
just it's always super fit dudes. That
super fit.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I think they like the warm embrace and the
The
cuddle
softness
and the warmth
and
yeah.
the gushy ushy.
Ooh,
Like it's
purr.
like, they
She said in the gushy.
but and I'll say the same thing, it's definitely the guys that have a lot of muscles whose bodies it looks like they live in the gym when I look like I don't. It's like you think like you want me? Like
or
you
super skinny.
Yeah, or super like bony and it's
Yeah.
like what in the world? Like they just
Mhm.
want to fall in it and I'm here for it.
Just like falling in a cloud.
I'm here for it.
Soft little cloud. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So you say
Yeah.
you be having a lot of bony people hit
Yes,
you.
and then
like-
it's not even that. Like they like to see that in porn too. They like to see the contrast of really skinny people and and big girls. Like
yeah, because you don't never see two. You
don't
never
really see two big people
fat
because you can't see it. All you see is the fat
it's
hitting
a-
each other. You can't see the penetration.
This is an audio ASMR.
I love me some ASMR.
Okay.
Let me just throw that out there.
I'm done.
Y'all motherfuckers is just come on, man. Like,
But it's true, and
Yeah.
I'll be honest, when I'm shooting content, so shout out to this company. I'm gonna throw their name out there. It's called Girls Gone Wireless. They do content creating and they allow any and everybody to come to their events. Granted, you do have to pay your fair share. But it's so worth it. You get to meet so many people in the industry. You get to shoot endless amounts of content. When I leave one of their content houses, I've got anywhere between 15 and 20 really good, solid videos that I can sell, if not more. You have the opportunity to get in on orgy scenes and all kinds of stuff. They do invite fans, which is funny because a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people think that's not true, but they really do invite real fans. They let fans come through.
I don't like that.
You don't like that?
No.
Yeah. So they let fans come through, which, they have to pay a price. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to interact with the fans if you don't want to, but they do allow them to come. It's a cool event. Everybody has
Yeah.
fun. They have chefs on deck. There's people constantly cooking food and stuff like that. But at those events, you have the opportunity to meet people. Like I've met people that I would have never met outside of going to one of those events. And so, you know.
You don't fuck with them events, Kitty?
No.
You ever heard of them?
Oh, I've heard of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just not my vibe.
Yeah.
I'm just I like to be like more selective, like curated type stuff. And you know,
Okay.
it's just
I like this.
safety.
This is a different.
Yeah.
I like
yeah.
this.
It's just a different
I like
vibe.
this.
It's a
It
different
shows a
vibe, yeah.
different. It shows a different. No, I'm just saying. It just shows a different side to what some big girls was doing. Some big girls was like, nah, I can't do it, and vice versa. So
Well,
you know, it's
the reason
interesting.
I appreciate Girls Gone Wireless and the reason I even brought them up is because a lot of these content events are built around small girls.
Yeah.
A lot of these content events are built around girls who, and this is no shade because, girl, you got you a fake booty, I'll eat it all day. But I'm saying they're built around girls who have the fake bodies. You know what I'm saying? They don't, but Girls Gone Wireless is different. They have girls with fake bodies. They have girls
You
that
eat
are really
ass?
skinny.
You like to eat ass?
Me?
Do you enjoy it?
Yeah.
I know you. You ain't even got it.
It has for me. It has to be the right
you
person.
like-
Like
I
it has
say-
to be my man.
So
you
you
know,
eat-
and I have to make
okay.
sure I watch
I
you
didn't
wash.
know what you'll do on. No, I'm saying because you know chicks that do porn, they
I don't
do a
eat
lot
ass
of
on porn.
nasty shit,
Yes.
man. It's spit and gargling and everything going on. You know, nuts and butts and like I said, tricks and dicks. You know, it's a lot of stuff that happens in porn. So you know, you got to kind of ask somebody.
Yeah.
You know, how far are you willing to go?
He said on that note, I'm out of here.
I had to ask. Do you? I had to ask. Do you eat the booty like groceries?
Not on the camera. I will not. No, sir.
She says it's a private show.
That is.
What the fuck?
And if I do that,
I
I'm
just had to ask
asking for
because
a
there's
check.
a lot of chicks that like, you know, they be like, yeah, like I get turned on. I like eating ass.
I like to eat balls more. Like
Yeah.
I love big saggy
Big hair
balls. Like it's just like so
Big
massive.
saggy
So
balls.
I
What the
love
fuck?
big saggy. Well, I'll just
fucking
you know how
hard.
like
You fucking with motherfuckers that's having to use
No,
big
no.
gain and shit. Like
No,
big
you
gain.
know like
For
is it
real.
Ben
Like,
gay? People put
yeah,
Ben
that
gay on
big,
their
like,
balls?
man,
To
sit there,
make it
man.
tingle?
Hell, I don't
To
know
like-
what they do.
No.
Having to use icy hot and shit every day. Some saggy old balls.
But you know, like guys like to motorboat girls' titties. I like to do that with balls. What's wrong with that?
some saggy.
I like them big and saggy. I mean, I don't want them all stuck up in there. Like, how am I supposed to?
And not like when it's like
Baggy
cold.
balls probably get all sticky.
Cold and
They get
hard.
all sticky when it's hot.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I'm
I like
Got
that.
that.
Like
Got
a
that
fall winter
stench
ball.
of just dew.
Yeah.
A stench of man musk.
Instead of dew.
Just a stench of dew.
Oh.
Just no, hell no.
No, but no. I mean, I like a very clean man. I like, you know, but that's what I meant. So back to what I was saying. So Girls Gone Wireless, they accept different people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
when I go there, I feel comfortable there. Like I feel like, okay, like, yeah, there's a bunch of girls here, but I'm able to create the content that I need to create for my fans without feeling any type of way. You know what I mean? Like all of the guys that come are super cool. They all shoot with girls from all walks of life. And so, you know, like, that's just they pay. I feel like they paved a way for BBWs in content event parties. Essentially,
you need to take your ass over to one of them houses.
Why?
he wants to see some of
Just fucking with you.
She said, "Why?"
Because I know you against it. That's why I'm just over here
a
stirring
social
up the pot a little bit.
experiment.
Like, hey, Kitty, yeah, sound like that's one of them houses. Your ass need to go take your ass on up over too and see if it work out for you. No,
I'd
look,
like to watch.
all right, all jokes aside, because I
Yeah.
know we're fucking around, but like I do get like some people can feel it, some people don't. Some people
Right.
like to interact with fans. Some people don't like to
Right.
interact with fans. They're like, hey, I just kind of, not even saying they're not being cool with the people that they're working with, but I know, I'm sure in porn it gets stressful.
Yeah.
There's sometimes shoots don't always go a certain way. Things might go awry. You know, the last thing a person wants to do after talking and trying to figure shit out with people during that shoot is talk to more people.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Those shoots take a lot out of you, mentally, emotionally, physically.
I'm sure it's
you
not
know.
just physically and just going to Pound Town.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm sure. Like I know it's got to be something, especially doing it over and over again. See, people have to understand, man. Like for the porn industry, I've said this before. I think I said this when I talked to Sherry DeVille. Shout out to her.
Mm-hmm.
I fuck with her.
Sheree.
Sat down with Sheree. Yeah, I sat down with DeVille, and I fuck with her vibe. She was cool, and I was like, man, I really feel like the porn industry, some of the chicks they play, I just feel like, man, it's underpaid.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I
For
just
sure.
feel like, you know, it's all these flat rates, and there's no royalties.
Yeah.
I would respect it more if there was like a chick's like, yeah, I'm getting paid my royalties off of the last 15 fucking videos that I
That's
did,
still
because
not a thing.
when you get that flat rate, you have to understand that that video plays on forever.
Yeah, it's like in perpetuity within the universe.
And I'm
type
not
shit.
trying to, and I'm
Yeah.
not trying to bust, and I'm not trying to bust the balls of, you know, the porn industry and the people who actually run it. But like, come on, man.
Well, that's like the
Like-
big shift in things, like, you know, with like the surgence of OnlyFans. I mean, and OnlyFans has been around, like, because I've been on it, like, you know, my statements say 2017. You know, it's like not something that's been new, but that kind of gives like the performer that sense of like royalties, kind of, and same with like tube sites, because you can post the video, you get ads, you get, you know, payment for views and all of that. So that's kind of like where royalties come in. But when you shoot for a company, there's no royalties for you for that. Like, you know, your views can get attached to their page, but they're going to make money off of it, you know,
I mean, I get that you can go and make your own content and there's exposure.
Yeah.
Right.
I
That's why
understand
I
that.
do it. That's why I shoot porn. I shoot porn for the exposure, because shooting for companies, I've got fans in Japan.
Yeah.
You know, I've got fans all over the world. And the thing is I was actually just talking to a guy that owns a very big porn site not too long ago, and he told me that the reason that they don't do royalties and things like that is because of things like OnlyFans, mini vids, X videos. You can go and see all of this free stuff. So their sites are like, he was telling me that in the last 5 years, his numbers are down significantly, the most they've ever been, due to things like that. Because, you know, people go to his site and they're like, ooh, all these girls are cool, but I really like Stella Daniels.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go subscribe to Stella Daniels OnlyFans, because now I can see her on a regular, daily, bi-daily basis and not have to see her. Because, I mean, some of these companies I shoot for once a year, you know, twice a year. So it's like they're not seeing any of my fresh new stuff. And so
it's like, did you retire? And it's like, no,
Yeah,
I just
I get
haven't
that all
been
the
booked.
time.
Like, I haven't
Exactly.
been booked this year for anything mainstream, but like I've shot tons of content that would, you know, surpass the amounts that I would if I, you know, I had a couple shoots during, you know, the month or whatever, which is awesome. But like you said, it's like you're really tapping into like their promo base, their marketing base, because it, you know, surpasses anything that you could do yourself.
Right.
In the sense of, you know, you're only limited to your reach, and that's just, you know, a bigger reach into.
I don't know if I'm
more
shooting
stuff.
out the box here when I say it, but I'm like, isn't it about being exclusive too, to where it's like, okay, if a company does want to come pick you up, they're like, no, we got to get together some type of budget for that person, because we know they're probably shooting for other people and they're probably paying them as well when you become that kind of hot commodity.
And that's when, you know, contracts
You
come
know what
in.
I'm saying?
You
Like,
get exclusive
and
contracts
I just
stuff,
feel like, I'm not saying for everybody, and this isn't to shame. I love the porn industry. It's all business. I understand it. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like it's almost being treated as like a cheap labor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the performers, correct?
Correct.
Well, they're making a lot of money off the back of the performer.
Right.
You know, so the money is coming in no matter what, because it's like, of course, yeah, they have fees for like production fees and editing fees, you know, staff and all of that. The money that, you know, they put out, but the generation of revenue, because you have to understand, it's not only are they making the money on their own personal site subscriptions, now they're taking pieces of each scene and posting it onto the tube site. So they're making millions of views, which translates, you know, into a lot of money.
Yeah.
Because they're having, you know, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of views on the video, and the views and the money, you know, the generation of all of that comes into big revenue. So even if people aren't subscribing to their site specifically, they're watching it on tube sites and making
because
huge
I know
money.
like Jeff's Models, Bumper Pass, I think all of them have stuff on what's it called, like X videos and stuff. And so when they upload those videos, because once we shoot for them and we've signed the paperwork, I mean they can do whatever they want with our content, you know. So and they put it on X videos, and so it's like they're, you know,
So I love X videos.
Yeah, X videos, you can make a bag.
I just don't understand how some of the stuff gets leaked that's supposed to be running through a
Just the
certain company.
sites.
Yeah, through the sites it's set for, but then it ends up getting. Shouldn't there be some kind of clause? or something like to where like, hey, this is where my shit gets ran at. I mean, I just feel like that's what saves the exclusivity of the content.
Yes, but there's just so many people who do so much foul stuff, you know? And so it's like
all the time.
trying to catch every single person, like who's gonna, you know, it's just like back in the day with LimeWire, you know? Like, I mean, it's so hard to.
I remember LimeWire.
You remember that?
Yeah,
Yeah, LimeWire.
that's just
You never
old.
got a letter that was
That shit
like,
old as
"Hey,
hell.
stop stealing this shit. We're gonna." You never got
Yeah,
one?
I'm pretty sure I did.
Comcast
I'm
was
pretty
like,
I'm
they were
pretty
like,
sure I
"We're
did,
gonna
girl.
cut you off."
But girl, I'll throw it in the trash. But you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's just it's essentially the same thing. Like, you know, there's companies you can pay that'll go in for you and they'll like remove all of the stuff that you didn't specifically put up, or the company that you allowed to put your stuff up. But it's like, man, they want so much money and they can't even guarantee that they're going to be able to take all that down 100%.
I got the plug for you. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
yeah,
Where
I
they
got the
just
plug
really
for you.
scrub your shit clean
Yeah.
Exactly.
from them
Yes.
sites.
I've had people reach out. They're like, "Your stuff's so hard to find." I'm like, "Thank you." And that's like
Yeah.
the balance. It's like I know I can put stuff behind paywalls or put stuff on, you know, sites like Xvideos or Pornhub. I mean, Pornhub, whatever, but Xvideos to make the money off the views. So you can still watch a bunch of stuff for free. Like I put a bunch of stuff out for free, but it's not like, you know, the great debate is how much, you know, should you put onto like Twitter or how much should you put onto this? And
Yeah.
I'm like, wrap it up, like put it in a thing. So it's like, I'm like, make porn more exclusive. Like that's I'm on the same train
I
as you.
understand.
Yeah.
I understand it because I'm just like, I feel like once it does, maybe it can give back that exclusive right to the performer kind of and how
Right.
they move just a little bit. I don't know. I could be off base, but I'm just trying to, I'm curious. I'm trying to understand it. And I feel like even for the BBWs, it's got like, y'all have your own world. Y'all have your whole niche, you know, that's just on a whole nother, it's a whole nother world. It seems like it's a whole nother game.
Well, I think it's also how the fans, I feel it's also a different set of fans as well, too, because there's things that, you know, if people are like, well, I'm not attracted to you, but I'm attracted enough to like jerk my dick to this. So, but it's not enough to pay you. So I'll steal your stuff. I'll, you know, help all my other homies jerk off to it because I'm going to show it to them for free. But I'm not attracted to you, but I'm going to take the time to seek your content out. But on the other side, you know, to the other girls, it's like, oh, you're so great. I love this. You're so worth it. Doop, doop, doop. And it's like, you know, I think the way that the fans value the different type of performer as well, too, is a different, and it's consumption it's a different type of consumption.
Yeah. And I will say, like, even the guys who are saying, like, oh, I'm not attracted to you, but I'll show my friends. At the end of the day, I feel like those are the people who they really naturally are attracted to you. And they're showing their friends to see if their friends are going to be like, damn, you like that big girl? Damn, you're attracted to that? You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, they're just looking for reassurance from somebody that, hey, like, is this okay if I like this? You know what I mean? Because I'll tell you right now, like, I've seen countless people between boyfriends, clients, you know, any and everything. And they all are like, they're scared of what other people are gonna think.
Well, I think that's the rush. I think that's the, you know, I know it's wrong. Nobody to approve of it. People like to do stuff they know they're not supposed to. They feel like they know they're not supposed to do.
Right.
And even if it's as simple as knowing, okay, my friends wouldn't like, or the people around me wouldn't like that they know that I like to jack off or have sex with BBW girls.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody's gonna, you know, there's certain, so they feel like it's kind of like it's bad, so it feels good.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Nobody's watching. I like
Yes.
watching big girls. Like it's something they feel like they know they're not supposed to do. I know it's twisted, but I feel like that kind of makes sense when you
And
kind of
that's
look
the thing.
at it.
It's like, where is this coming in? You know, that's not something you're supposed to do. Because I swear, y'all, back in the day, the big girls got all the loving because that meant they had the money and the food, okay? So I don't understand, like, where it switched, where, you know what I mean? Because back in the day, like, if you really do your research, if you went to school and you learned some history, let me tell you right now, all the big girls were... That's what people wanted because they were wealthy. They could afford the food. Like
BBLs were invented. You have to think about this.
That's true.
No,
That's
listen
true
to
too.
me, because there was two type of chicks. Well, three, I'll say. There was the skinny chick, the real ample chick. There was the, you know, she's kind of thick, but she had just a nice body on her. And then you had the big, slim thick, a real slim thick.
Yeah.
And then you had the bigger girl. There was 3 categories.
Mm-hmm.
And they all had ugly and pretty girls all in them.
Right.
They all like that doesn't change, you know?
Ever.
Always.
Right.
But what happened was there was a curveball that was thrown. And them doctors felt like they could throw it. And that was a BBL. Bitches can go in there and they can shape and form their body like they want to today for a cost.
Suck all the fat out of your back and put it in your booty.
You can do everything right now. Motherfuckers can really reinvent themselves through surgery. You know, females for sure.
For sure. But and I'm not gonna lie, I've considered surgery. You know what I mean? It's not like I can't afford the surgery, but I'm to the point where it's like, what's the point of me getting a surgery if I'm going to get with this man who I'm like, I want, say I want to be with this man, right? Or I want to shoot for this company or whatever it is. I'm going to go get this BBL and then he's going to go cheat on me with a girl who had a body built like the body before I got fixed. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that happens.
That's very true.
And not even that, but it's like, I feel like girls like us are becoming more rare.
I think about
it is
this.
so rare to find a girl who doesn't have her
and
body
I don't mean
fixed
to interrupt,
nowadays.
but I have to chime in on it.
Go ahead.
I think it's more of it might fuck up your money. You fuck around and go get, like, if you've already built your clientele and people who watch your content and fuck with your content, it's like a catch-22. Because it's like, damn, if I have the money to go and make my body how I would want to make it, and look like all these girls out of the magazine. But if I do that, is that going to fuck up what I already have going? Is that going to send me to ground zero and now I got to build back
my
up?
fan base all
I got to
the way
build
back
the fan.
And you probably do.
Because you're a different person at that point.
Exactly.
You're not the same. And this is going to be looked at to them as a permanent setting. So you're definitely going to have to start from the bottom.
Right.
It's so funny because people are so scared of like a little belly. And I'm like,
not me, girl.
Don't be scared, right? But it's so funny because girls can be built like me, but have like a totally snatched stomach because it got lipoed and it's cool. But I got like a little stomach and it's like, you fat bitch. Like, it's most of the time the people who are calling me a fat bitch are a fat bitch themselves. So it's like,
and not even that, but if they're not a fat bitch, it's mostly men who would fuck a fat bitch.
Yeah, and he's usually the fat bitch calling me the fat bitch too. So it's like, you're
what
the
in
big
the
girl.
world? Like, or a skinny girl calling you a fat bitch, and it's like, I might be fat, baby, but I can lose this weight.
But that's because
there ain't shit you can do about that face right there.
That's because they looked on their boyfriend's page and it was like BBW.
Exactly.
Yep.
Can I ask both of you, are you, because I know everybody is afraid of change. Like everybody's
right.
And in some type of sense, right? Some type of form. It's a weird feeling to transition.
Correct.
It gives you a different feeling. Are you guys, even though you both have the money to go and have these surgeries, are you afraid of going and having these and not really having to start over from just even the different type of people that you talk to? Because now it's going to bring in, even just in men in relationships, you're going to have different type of men that didn't talk to you before.
Exactly.
Try to engage with you. Are these some things that may, spook you away from the conversation of surgery when it comes to like, okay, I'm actually going to go and I'm going to go to a doctor and I'm going to go try to get my EKGs and everything. I'm going to try to start the fucking process of getting my body done. Does that frighten you a little bit? Like some of the things that can come from?
I mean, the scariest part, because when I got my boobs done, the scariest part is like, am I going to regret it? Is it going to be worse than it was before? And that's like, kind of, I feel like those scarier risks of anything, because it's like, people don't really talk about like the after effects of plastic surgery and altering your body and how,
how it's going to look in 20 years, 30 years.
Not only that, but like how you see yourself and like your perception of yourself, but then also like how other people perceive you. Because it's like, if I had $1 for every day someone's like, hey, miss your own titties, like, I don't care, So it's like, but even outside
I feel
of
you on that. And that's 100. You did keep it real, Kitty, because I think that's in everything that you do in content and putting yourself out to exposure. You're never going to be able to please everybody.
Not at all.
It's not happening, homie. Yeah. So I do agree with you.
But that's not something that people like talk about, because it's like, it totally does. Because if you're looking one way and you've built your brand one way and then you change yourself, it's like, your fans are like, oh, I wish you'd never done that. I'm not a fan of yours anymore. And I'm like, damn,
it's got to fuck with, it's got to like alter something inside you to hear a little bit of it, especially the ones that's probably been supporting you since the beginning.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And sometimes it's not even like, boobs or a butt. I mean, you can do something simple as change your hair color or cut your hair, and now you've got people who are like, oh, no. It's like I changed really nothing. I cut my hair. It's gonna grow back and give me a couple of months,
Yeah.
But you really can't. You can't please everybody.
But
So at the end of the day,
that's
just
smart,
please
though.
yourself.
It's smart though. Like,
good to
what
change.
cares about who cares about the hair changes,
Right.
things like that. You're trying to cater to different crowds. Like, you're
Right.
not trying to just get boxed in. And I say that
Exactly.
even about artists. I'm like,
Yep.
man, you got to make all kinds of music these days if you want to capture and captivate the world. So I'm sure it's like that in the content world,
Yes.
or making porn. Like, man, you just things like that. Just you got to change it up. Even if you post a picture that might have gained you 20, 30 subscribers.
Right.
These are paying people.
Right.
That's how to market and capitalize on that once they're there.
It's-
Because it's all about, getting them there.
It's fucked up.
And then what do you do with it afterwards?
It's fucked up
It is.
because you look at what the performers get, like what the people that's like really having to do this work, homie. Like, this isn't in a relationship stat. This is a company. These are people that you're working for that you don't see again. It's a wham bam, thank you, man. We don't live together. This wasn't like the game of what I come from. So I know how people try to like pinpoint, oh, well, you came from some. No, it's a different type of aspect because you're doing a certain business with somebody, a certain transaction.
Right.
I feel like it should be paid, man. It should be had at the right way.
Right.
To where it can hold exclusivity. People can find the content tasteful.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, I don't know when I'm going to see another Badkittyyy and Stella Daniels again collab. Like, I'm going to watch this a million times over again, and they might not drop another one for like 2-3 years. When
Right.
you keep the shit exclusive and you don't oversaturate it, and I know that's not up to y'all. That's really how the
It is
business
to an
works.
extent.
It
Yeah,
is.
it can be.
It is.
It is, but when
yeah.
you're working for these companies, these are the companies that you want to work with, right?
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They want content constantly,
Right.
right now.
Yeah.
Like, how much can you make of it? We'll figure out the numbers in the long run.
I feel like that's a little different if you're doing things like independently and by yourself. Like,
Well, you're going to do that regardless
Yeah.
because they're already cutting flat rates.
Well, that's true.
So that's why you're trying to take what you can from the exposure that you get
Yep.
from these other sites
Yep.
and things like that. You're like, okay, I can probably pull some people from Japan, people from the
People that wouldn't
UK,
normally probably see
because
my
they're
stuff.
watching
Right.
that stuff, and
Yeah.
you're trying to make it lucrative for you, and
And that's what I do.
Table.
Like, that's for me. I definitely have. I'm not gonna lie. I have a set rate as well. But at the same, and I've been offered less, and I'm not gonna take less. But if you pay me my rate, cool, I'll come shoot for you. But when I go on set, my biggest thing is like, okay, like, there's going to be thousands and thousands of eyes on this scene. I need to do my absolute best because as soon as I leave, I have a scene that's going to be released March 17th. And when that scene comes out March 17th, I have a very big, strong feeling that I give it less than 7 days and I'll have multiple hundreds of subscribers on my OnlyFans after that scene comes out.
Absolutely.
So, it just brings, or my views might go up. I was going to say, can I get a little bit more of that too?
It's empty, baby.
Oh.
It's empty.
It's empty.
It's
he
empty.
said.
But I like the conversation. Like, I
But-
just like this convo, man. I've learned a lot through it, and just trying to figure out like what really goes on, like, just
Yeah.
in the BBW industry of porn, and is it a struggle? Is there complications that you may run into that the little skinny girl may not run into, or the
For
girl
sure.
with the BBL may not run into, or is it all the same? I don't know.
I think it
That's what we're
definitely-
here for.
It definitely comes down to like frequency of bookings. I mean, at the end of the day, also, being self-booking, so not having an agent also plays into that. But, when it comes to like the standard of what's sellable in the eyes of, like these old white people who run, the behind the scenes of, sellability in porn, they're not looking at me and being like, yeah, that's it. She's fat, she's black, she's tattooed. That's not like the standard of what sells in porn. I mean, we know that it does, obviously. Like, I wouldn't be here if it didn't.
Right. But when it comes to like the standard, I mean, you go on Browser's website, it's pretty, like, how they have like usually they have like a banner on top of the website when you first click it, and like usually the first thing that pops up are the skinny white girls. That's always, you know, on the banner, you know, whatever it is. And you know, that's what they
I've
think.
Been on the banner,
that's
but yes, you're not wrong.
And I've been on the,
Yeah.
and I have been on the banner for one of them too. But you know, it's just.
But you're not wrong.
I was gonna say we're cute, okay, but still.
Yeah, no, but
hey,
you're
we're
not
cute.
wrong. Like that's the thing is it's, you know, it's just when it comes to, it's just like a very political type thing. It's just the politics.
It really is. Well, and not even that. You know, I'm gonna put this out here, and I hope anybody and everybody from AVN can see this, especially the people who run it. It was my first AVN I've ever been to, and I don't know how your experience was, but I was very, very upset because and I'm not, and I am here for everybody. I love everybody. I will shoot with skinny girls, big girls, trans women, whatever it is. But
you don't mind putting a little bit of lady dick in the mix.
Don't mind at all.
I love it.
Wow. Yeah, wow. But I'm throwing this out there.
So yeah,
but,
you
but
do.
that
See, so
that
you
is
do
more.
You do things.
I'll do some crazy stuff for you. Yeah.
You haven't said anything crazy.
I was like, this is really normal, Sharp. Come on now.
This is not.
This is normal.
This is fucking not.
But hold on, listen. So AVN, right?
Oh yeah.
BB. Okay, so I'm throwing this out there. Like I said, everybody got to go up there and accept their award, even the trans performers. But none of the BBW girls that have ever known have gone up on stage. Did you get to go up on stage and accept your award?
No, mine was during COVID, so it was online. But the gag was that it was a photo of me from 2019 with my ex-boyfriend, and they had access
to all your other photos.
Years of photos from my catalog, and they chose that fucking picture. But no, it was on a Zoom call.
Okay, but I will say one of my really, really, really good friends, her name is Alex Blair. She's the one that won the BBW AVN this year. She lives in Dallas as well. Shout out to my girl. But they just flashed her picture up and said, "We'll mail you your AVN award." They didn't even let her go up and say something. But it's like they let every other person who got an award. Every other person was like able to go up there, including the trans community. So I'm like, and they should for sure.
Shout out to
the trans community. You know, I actually have family that's trans, but that's my whole point. Is like we are literally shoved in a corner. Like a corner.
I feel like you're boxed in.
And
y'all a little bit too big to be having them
exactly.
do that too. I mean, is y'all a little too big for them to be trying to box y'all in.
But that's my whole thing is like, if you're going to let every other performer go up there and accept their award and say a speech and who they want to thank and what got them to that point, why can't the BBW performer also go on stage and accept her award?
Honestly, at the end of the day, there's too many damn awards to be, and should they add more for stage presence? Absolutely, they should. But it's like all the toy people didn't get to go up there. Not every director. It's like there was a lot of award or a lot of categories that weren't even fully announced. But the issue.
But not one big girl was up on that stage.
But the bigger issue was why the fuck did they let 65 girls get nominated for that category?
I was thinking the same thing.
That's the first issue.
I was thinking the same thing.
I also have to say, and let me have my little moment. I feel like after I won last year, after I won BBW AVN, they changed the voting system. They changed how people vote, how they have to register to vote, the number of times that they could vote, and the number of people. So I'm like, why did the goalpost have to move? And it's like, I'm glad that I won, but it was just like it was a little funky to me that I was like, oh, now you guys have to change things up because it was never like that before. So
this is my first ever AVN experience.
And it was very shoved under the rug. When I'm like,
this was your first time going?
It was my first time going. My first time,
You felt like it was a shitty experience. That's what you said.
I got pretty. My girls all got pretty. Like, it was the general experience of the weekend was nice. You know what I'm saying? Meeting new people and hanging out and stuff like that, and getting to see people in person that you have never met in person, but you've conversed online. But it's just like, I felt like the award system was really messed up. They had a lot of like weird comedy stuff that like wasn't even that funny going on, and it's like y'all could have skipped all of that and allowed people to accept their awards. You know what I'm saying? Up on stage, because like I said, there's girls who work their butts off for these awards.
I heard that the people that were winning awards were on the floor, and then they had the ones that weren't were up in
the rafter
the
area.
rafter area.
Yeah. I was on the floor and I didn't get an award.
But even people that weren't even nominated were on the floor.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It was like, it's very like, very strated. Like there's
I wonder if they have
like levels to this.
I was
shit.
gonna
like,
say,
So you
yeah.
say they kind of even mixed it up. There was people that were up in the rafters that was winning that was coming down.
No.
But we're saying that there's people who weren't nominated for
Any
anything
award, and they were
that
still on the
ground.
floor.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like it's like there's
Wow.
like levels.
Yeah.
To it. It's like a class system almost. Like
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah, so it's like
for
how long have you
optics
been
and-
in the game?
Like even
like
people that were 1
Okay.
year. Like,
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, I'm like, I've been in the game 7 years now, and
Yeah.
it's like, you know.
Well, I was
I was nominated, and I was over here.
Yeah.
I wasn't up, but, you know, I was over here. I mean, and I had the opportunity. They're like, do you want to move? And I was like, no. But I was like,
Yeah.
it's just like little things like that. And you're just like, it's fine.
Yeah. It's
Spelling my name wrong on purpose, like stuff like that. Like, why are you going to take a picture of my name badge and then spell my name wrong?
on
What was the purpose of taking a picture of the name badge? So I had
Yeah.
to contact Getty Images. I was like, yeah. That had me fucked up. And they're like, oh, we can see about changing. I was like, no, you'll change it.
You'll change it for sure.
You'll change it.
Yeah.
You'll change it. They did.
Well, I got one more question before we get up out of here. What do you guys feel about, like, you know, do you feel like people take BBW serious when it comes to, like, you know, STDs and things like that? People be like, oh, well, I can probably fuck her. She's just a fat bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can still go and move. Like, in the porn industry, because people slip up through tests.
Yeah.
You know, and I've talked about this with somebody before, and I'm like, man, shit happens all the time to where it's like, do you feel like they get careless on the BBWs versus more of the chicks that are a little bit skinnier, the ones that they may favor?
Well, none of the people that I know are BBWs that are suffering from the plethora
lack
You
of-
get what I'm saying? Like, no,
But-
for
but-
real,
but-
like,
right.
trying to treat you lesser than,
I
like,
mean-
oh, you could
But
still
I'm
go.
saying
Like
it's
you say,
just-
you only got a little bit. She probably
I'm
won't
saying
even.
it's the skinny girls that are all clapped up. It's not.
Exactly.
Those
That's exactly
because
what
that's
it
the
is.
issue is they're shooting all the time, and it's just like, you know, I'll come down, I'll shoot like once a month. So I am very like selective and like I'm all of my friends are suffering from the plethora of
But
STDs that are going around right now because it's like crazy bad right
But
now.
I will say it depends on, it's going to depend on the girl, you know? Like, is she going to let this guy manipulate her to that extent? You know what I'm saying? Is she going to let this guy go in her without a test? That's on her. Because a girl like me,
Everybody, yeah.
I need to see your test, baby. And not just see it, I need to scan your QR code. So I need to see that it pops up on my phone so I can see it.
There's
You know what I
standards for a
mean?
reason,
There,
and,
yeah.
you can't play with it. You can't play with your health. You can't. There's things that are taking 2-3 months. Antibiotic resistance. There's no fucking joke. Like
Yeah.
it's
So
not
you don't
a
consider
game.
catching gonorrhea like it's strep throat, pretty much.
No, it's fucked up. I've
Yeah,
only
no.
ever had one STD, and it was when I was like in my early 20s before even being in the porn
Yep.
industry.
I
I've
was-
never gotten anything in the
Yep,
porn
I was
industry.
gonna say my first ever experience. I had caught an STD, and it was a curable one. But I was 15. It was with my first boyfriend. I've been doing sex work. I've been an escort. I've been a porn star, and not one time in 9 years have I caught anything out of this
I
industry.
I feel like those are all controlled settings, whether it's by you or by director.
Correct.
You know what I'm
Correct.
saying?
It's
So
also-
it's a little different when you just, you know, you free range yourself with a person.
But
and
a
you
lot
don't
of
really
these
know where
girls
to
free
go.
range, you know. A lot of them
They
will.
do.
They even
They
the
do.
girls who shoot, you know, it's like you go get your blood work done, you go get your urine done, and then you know you have a shoot the next day, but yet you're sleeping with your dude the night before your shoot, but you also know your dude, it doesn't approve of what you do for a living. So now he's sleeping around on you. So now, like, there's so much. At
not
the
a
end of the day, all
game.
you can do is try to protect yourself to the best of your
It's
ability.
not a game. Like your health is
Sucks
not a
because
game.
you have to even almost damn near protect yourself from your own man.
Exactly.
Trying to have a regular relationship.
Absolutely.
That's why I am like the most underfucked.
I was gonna
performer
say,
in the
like,
world.
when it
Like,
comes, like,
I do
I
not
fuck on
play.
camera,
I do
but
not.
it's pretty rare to catch me outside of that doing anything because you can't trust anybody.
Even this last test, I was shooting, you know, a week ago. I only shot once on my test. Like I usually used to shoot once on it. Like I do not play.
Yeah. I was going to
not
say, I
fair.
got tested 2 weeks ago for a shoot. And when I get back to Dallas, I have a doctor's appointment to get my blood taken. So I test before my shoot, and then I usually wait 2 to 3 weeks after a shoot and then go get retested by my doctor.
But now you got to
So-
get the swab in your booty hole.
Booty hole,
the booty
mouth,
swab, the
everything, throat, all of it.
Yeah.
And I don't even do anything with my butthole.
It
And
doesn't
they want to
matter.
they
It
want to
doesn't matter
swab
if
my
you do it.
butthole. Yeah.
If you're getting eaten out or you're getting your dick sucked and the juice runs down to the booty
Yep.
crack, boom.
But that's what I'm saying.
man.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like,
Kitty,
they do it all.
Stop the
It's
bullshit.
true.
It's not, but
It's
I'm
true.
like everybody there. You can get gonorrhea. You can get all these.
I
things inside
believe
of
that,
your
but just
booty
hearing
hole.
spit and booty cracks and holes and
That
it
was
just all
it's
like
true.
hit me.
You brought us on here,
It
Sharp.
fucking hit me all at
Yeah.
once. Like, hey,
Gotta get
I
to
feel
booty
like
cracks
I
and
feel like
spit. I mean,
Okay.
I get things go on. It's just
Yeah.
it's crazy to hear. I feel like I was new to that at first. Like hearing people talk about having spit run down booty cracks on camera.
You gotta wipe
But
your
I-
butt when
I was
you
but
gonna
do
say,
it.
if you
but
think
I
this
get
is
it.
bad, Sharp, you got to hear some of the
We gonna
stories
find-
we
You just
got.
got
I
my
know we
mouth.
got some stories.
Hey, I promise you this, man. I'm gonna
know.
knight y'all as BBW University of this shit.
Valedictorian.
We're gonna listen. I'm for real. I want to do a panel. The big girls of the porn movement.
I think
and
that's amazing.
The skinnier girls, with BBLs and things like that
Yeah.
of the porn movement. And we
Everybody
all sit
deserves
down like a
love.
big old cluster of us, about 8 of us.
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
sit
here
as
for
that.
it.
You know what I'm saying? We'll hash it out because I want to hear. I want to see.
I would love to do
I
that.
think it'd be dope to hear the difference of some of the things that y'all experience that are not the same, but y'all play the same game.
Right.
Before we get out of
agree.
here,
Type of game.
before we get up out of here, a shout out where they can find y'all.
Oh, so badkitty.com. So BADKITTYYY. So Badkitty, you can find me on TikTok, Instagram, X videos, Pornhub, OnlyFans, all of that. But badkitty.com for everything.
Yeah, dope. How about you, Stella?
I have a website coming out right now. It is going to be called, I believe we have the domain for thestelladaniels.com, but don't quote me on that yet. Just stay keeping up with my Twitter and my Instagram, which you can find me at Stunning Stella Daniels on Instagram. On Twitter, it's at Stella Star DTX. You can also find me on Pornhub, X videos, ManyVids, OnlyFans. I'm all around. You can find me. You can find me if you want to.
I mean, your daddy's browser.
I mean, your grandpa's browser.
Everybody's.
Hey, and the truth needs no support.
Okay.
The Sharp Tank, no jumper. Sharpest, coolest podcast in the world. Hey, Donnie, shoot us out the motherfucking gym.